What is up guys, Karma Medic here and welcome back to another dose. Today I want to talk about the personal statement, how I wrote it, what I was thinking, and things that I tried to focus on and what I wanted the readers to take away from it. I'm currently sitting in a tree house a couple of hours north of Toronto at an Airbnb that me and my friends rented in an area called Muskoka. We're just here for the weekend to sort of get away from the city for a little bit, enjoy the lake, the sun, go kayaking, do some hiking and activities, and I'll be back to my regular research work in a couple of days. But anyway, while I was out here, I sort of had a lot of time to relax and think, and I started thinking about my time before medicine, my applications, and more specifically, I was really thinking about the personal statement. So I got a little bit inspired by that and I thought, hey, why not make a video and upload it to the YouTube channel? Also, I wanted to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers who have come to the channel. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the videos. I hope you like the future content, and please feel free to leave me a comment, shoot me an email, anything you want really to interact or keep in touch. A lot of you guys I know are applying to King's as well, so please keep me updated with your applications. I would love to follow you guys on your journey. Hopefully you get in, and if you do, please feel free to come say hi to me on campus. And yeah, let's just jump right into the video. Okay, so I want to start by talking about a couple of housekeeping tips for writing the personal statement. You don't want to sit down and write the personal statement in one day. You want to give yourself a long period of time to write your personal statement. Start early. You're going to have many drafts. You're going to show it to a lot of people, and you're going to want to have some time to think about what you're writing and work on it. If you do it all in one go, you run the risk of rushing it, not writing or forgetting about things that you might have done in the past, and not writing it as best as you could have. As you're volunteering, as you're doing work experience, or as things are happening to you in your life, just make a note of them so that you have easy access to those thoughts, those emotions that you were feeling at the time, what you learned from when it comes to writing your personal statement. You want to have a list of these things ready so that when it comes personal statement time, you can have an option and a choice of what you want to choose from. And also, don't get me wrong, I know a personal statement can be written in one day. I actually have a friend in med school with me who wrote it on a flight back from vacation on an airplane on his iPhone. So it's definitely possible to do in one day in a quick go, but honestly that's too stressful for me, and you want to play it safe. You want to give yourself a bit more time than that. Also, show your personal statement to as many people as you can who you trust to give you objective feedback, good feedback. You want to get a lot of people's opinions. They might see something that you wouldn't have thought of, or maybe they'll give you something from a different perspective, because once you've written your personal statement and you've read it and tried to edit it like 100 times, you're gonna start like going kind of crazy, and you want to have other people look at your personal statement so that they can give you an opinion that you might not have seen. And the final tip I want to give for the personal statement is do some research on the websites of the actual schools that you're going to apply to. A lot of them will have sections where they say what they're looking for in a medical school candidate, and they'll often list what they want to see in a personal statement or what they want to see come across from a candidate in interviews. And those are things that you should definitely print out and try and include inside of your personal statement, and try and include them inside of your interview answers as well. A lot of what I'm going to talk about today, and a lot of the points I want to make about the personal statement, is that no matter what your experience is, you can tailor it to do something with medicine. So what I really wanted to make sure that I got across in my personal statement was that I didn't just wake up one day deciding that I wanted to do medicine. Although I always knew that I wanted to do medicine, I really loved science, and it was something that I always enjoyed and looked forward to. My decision to do medicine was reached after very careful consideration, lots of experiences that sort of confirmed for me this is actually what I wanted to do. It was a very mature and conscious decision. It wasn't just an on-the-whim choice. And that's something that I really wanted to get across to interviewers. I wanted to let them know that I made this decision very consciously, and that I had the drive and passion to pursue medicine and actually finish the degree and enjoy it as a career. Also, something that's very important, to show the people reading your personal statement that you have a realistic understanding of what it means to be a doctor, what it means to have a career in medicine. If you give them the impression that you've sort of just like seen a couple of TV shows and you think that's what medicine is, then they're probably not going to find that too great. You want to give them a realistic understanding, a realistic impression of what being a doctor is like. Throughout the end of my high school years and all the time in university, I took every opportunity and experience that I could to try and understand what it meant to be a doctor, what it meant to practice medicine. And that involved a whole range of things, from doing like summer camps, observerships with surgeons, to volunteering at lab hospitals, also volunteering at the Canadian Centre for Victims of Torture. I was even on the University of Toronto aerospace team, where I was developing biological experiments to go on a satellite that was going to be launched by NASA if we ended up winning the national competition. So I was trying to involve myself in absolutely as many things as possible that involved science, research, and medicine. But more than that, the important thing is involving yourself in work or experience where you're dealing with other people, whether you're helping other people, taking care of other people, serving other people. A lot of medicine is about being social. It's about interacting with your patients, interacting with others who might be different from you, have different ethnic diversities, different cultures, different opinions, and that's really what medicine is about. It's about being able to communicate with someone else who's different than you and to help them. So there are many different ways to structure a personal statement. Some people do it around like a story that goes throughout the whole personal statement. Some people make it revolve around a single life event that happened to them. Personally, I took a very structured, very logical approach, and I sort of went through a timeline of my high school years to university years of different experiences and things that happened to me which made me know that I wanted to pursue medicine. So I did that by talking about a lot of the experiences that I just mentioned. But talking about those experiences isn't really important. It's about how you reflect on them. So saying that you did hundreds or thousands of hours volunteering in a care home or in a hospital or shadowing a doctor or whatever is honestly not important. The important thing is what you learned, what you took away from that experience, how that made you realize that you wanted to be a doctor, how that gave you a better understanding of what being a doctor will be like. And it's what you take away from it, how you reflect on your experience that's important. Whether you were a server at a restaurant, whether you were working in a care home, whether you were volunteering with disabled children, if you're volunteering at a food bank or a homeless shelter, whatever the experience is, it's about what you took away from it, how you learned to communicate with people, how you learned to overcome challenges, how you learn to take a leadership position. Reflecting is so important because so many students who apply for medicine will have done volunteering, they will have done shadowing experiences, they will have done some sort of amazing extracurricular, and if everyone just lists what they did or talks about the actions that happened in their experiences, then a lot of it is going to be the exact same. So I started my personal statement talking about the shadowing experiences that I had with a cardiothoracic surgeon in Abu Dhabi when I was at the end of my high school years. And at the time I was just in high school. I really didn't know much about medicine. I didn't know too much about what being a doctor would be like, and I didn't understand any of the surgeries that I was watching. I didn't understand any of the patient consultations that I was a part of. But what I really took away from that experience was the collaboration between all the different staff members in the hospital. It made me realize just how much communication goes on within a hospital, how many people need to interact with each other and give out information, and how complicated that system was. Because before then I thought that a patient would just see a doctor and a doctor would see a patient, and that was the end of the interaction. But turns out obviously there's so much more. And so although I didn't understand the purely scientific and medicine aspects of that experience, I still learned something very important. Then I also went to a medical summer camp at the University of Toronto, which is actually where I ended up studying for my undergraduate degree. But I did a summer camp there, and what I really learned there was what it meant to study medicine. I had talks from a lot of professors. I had talks from a lot of professors who are pioneers in their field. I also did a lot of laboratory experiments, and this sort of gave me the idea of what it would be like to study medicine. We also did some anatomy as well, so that gave me the more like school aspect, the more rigorous academic side of what medicine might be like. Okay, so after that I moved on to my undergraduate degree, where I talked about how I improved my scientific reading, my scientific analysis, critical analysis skills. I learned to manage high course loads under pressure, and that's actually also where I joined the University of Toronto aerospace team that I mentioned before. And over there I really learned how to take a more managerial position, a more leadership position, organize and host meetings, communication with other people. There were a lot of skills that I learned through there, very, very useful, that can be directly translated to being a doctor. I also had to do a lot of independent research and learning for that project, and that was something that taught me how to like grind it out by yourself and focus and go hard. And even if something doesn't come easy at the beginning, resilience and continuing to put in effort and working hard, you'll eventually reach your goal. I mentioned that throughout all my summer breaks I was volunteering in hospitals, in diagnostic laboratories. I volunteered in a cytogenetics lab, an immunohistocompatibility lab, and a neonatal diagnostics lab as well. I was doing that every summer, and I also did one observership or shadowing of a doctor in my third to last summer. I was taking advantage of my summer breaks and getting in as much experience and volunteering as I could. That helped show my prolonged and real dedication towards medicine. So if just one off summer I happened to do something related to medicine, it wouldn't be as telling as consistently over the years trying to find experiences, trying to get involved in activities that will show me what medicine is like. I had the opportunity to shadow a orthopedic surgeon in Greece, and that was one of the more definitive experiences of my time to show me that I really wanted to do medicine. This is where I got to sit in on patient consultations, I got to interact with patients. I was also learning how to read and diagnose x-rays with the consultant, and I also watched plenty of surgeries, but now I could actually read up on the surgeries, understand what was going on, and sort of reflect from that afterwards. Also looking after patients in post-operative care, talking to them on a daily basis, seeing how they're doing and progressing over time. That was something that really taught me the interpersonal aspect of medicine, and it helped me understand what a patient might be going through after surgery. So that was a very valuable experience for me, and I definitely took a lot away from that. Then finally, I talked about my volunteering at the Canadian Centre for Victims of Torture. Over there, I was helping immigrants who came to Canada integrate into Canadian society. I was helping with English lessons, medicine and legal translations into Arabic, amongst a host of other things, and that was a truly amazing experience. If you can volunteer with anyone who's less fortunate than you or different than you in terms of maybe disabilities, I think that's a very valuable experience, and it can honestly teach you a lot, and something that's directly translatable and important to medicine and being a doctor. I also talked a little bit about my hobbies, like having a YouTube channel. Not this one, actually. I have another one where I post more personal videos about my trips and vacations and things like that. So I talked about that YouTube channel a little bit. I talked about playing on the basketball sports team at university, also snowboarding in my winter breaks with my friends, just something to bring me back to a more not so like rigorous academic student, to make my personal statement more balanced, to give them a bit of an insight into the rest of my life too. So yeah, overall I thought my personal statement was really authentic. I thought it was really clear. Whatever your experience is, just reflect on your experience and relate it to two things. A, your drive and passion for medicine, why you really want this, why you believe you are a strong candidate for medicine, and two, a realistic understanding of what being a doctor is, a realistic understanding of what it's like to be in a hospital, what it's like to interact with patients who are different than you, who might be going through some very troubling times of their life, just a realistic understanding of what a doctor could be like in the future. Of course, you're not expected to know because you're not a doctor yet, but they want you to make sure you know what you're getting into. If you have this unrealistic expectation of what's to come, then that's not going to come across very well. So yeah, one final thing, I also started an Instagram page called Karma Medic, where I want to start posting on a daily basis an insight into my life as either a researcher like I am right now, or as a medical student when I'm back at King's in September. And I hope that gives you guys more content on a daily basis in between when I'm uploading these videos. And also I feel like it's a more personal interaction. You guys can send me a message there and we can interact in that way, which I think is also really cool. So yeah guys, please follow me on that Instagram page. Definitely leave comments and likes on the pictures and let me know anything you want to see in particular. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your support, for watching my videos, for subscribing to my channel. I got so many heartwarming emails from the last video. Thank you guys for putting in the time to talk to me, to send me messages and to watch these videos. I really appreciate it. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. Follow me on Instagram on the newest thing that I just made. I'll put links up here somewhere. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.